to check under the bed and make...
Nothing has brought me greater joy than watching the Walt Disney Company absolutely panic over the last few weeks. They're mad at South Park because they're making fun of their woke ideologies, constantly race swapping or religion swapping everything in their movies.
There's no Disney executives under there.
Oh, not again.
Yeah, only this time, it wasn't just me. They were taking all my favorite people and replacing them with diverse women complaining about the patriarchy.
With all your favorite South Park characters.
Dude, school is going to be so awesome today.
I had explosive diarrhea all night.
I like big boobs.
Oh, hamburgers.
How does this even make any sense?
It makes perfect sense. I think the problem is you.
So Snow White slept and waited for her prince to come, but he never did. Because a woman shouldn't have to depend on a man. Snow White was brought back to life by a lady doctor.
And she lived happily ever after?
Well, she couldn't indulge in strenuous activities like handball, but otherwise, she was fine.
That's nice.
What an idiot I've been as a young person in this industry who has no filter and no idea what she's doing.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business.
Yeah. Weird.
Did Rachel Zegler really try to get South Park banned after they roasted her? Or is that the perfect bait story designed to make you rage-click? Because right now, the internet is pushing one very specific claim, that she demanded Comedy Central pull an episode, that she called it defamatory, that she went full panic mode behind the scenes. And here's the problem. The people yelling it the loudest never show the smoking gun. So tonight, let's do this the hard way. Let's follow the trail. Let's separate what's real, what's rumor, and what's strategically planted to look like a leak. And yes, the timing of this is not random. It's almost too perfect. Now, before we go any further, I need to say this clearly. I'm not going to invent receipts. I'm not going to claim I have a private server dump. If there's no proof, we say it's not proven. Period. That's how you actually investigate instead of just performing outrage. So what do we know for sure? We know there are clips flying around online that claim South Park did a Disney-style parody with the kind of no-mercy jokes South Park is famous for. We know the clips are being shared with a very specific narrative attached to them. Rachel is furious. Rachel demanded a ban. Network meltdown. But that's where the story gets even stranger. Because when a celebrity really pressures a network, it usually leaves fingerprints. A statement, a trade report, a rep comment, a confirmed email, something that can be checked. So I asked the simplest question that everyone else skipped. Where did the demanded it be pulled claim actually come from? And when you trace it back, most of the time, it leads to the same place. Not to Comedy Central, not to South Park, not to a verified spokesperson. It leads to commentary channels repeating each other in a loop, each one citing insiders, each one promising sources close to Rachel, and none of them showing an on-record confirmation. Here's the part people don't want you to notice. That is the exact formula of a self-feeding rumor. One account posts it, another account says, "I'm hearing the same thing." A third account says, "It's confirmed," but the confirmation is just the second account. And suddenly, the internet thinks a story is real because it's loud, not because it's true. Now that doesn't mean it's false, it means it's unproven. And if it's unproven, we treat it like a lead, not a verdict. So let's look at motive. Why would this rumor explode right now? Because this is not just about a cartoon joke. This is about a much bigger culture war storyline people have been trying to write for months. A storyline where one actress becomes the face of everything wrong with Hollywood. A storyline where every headline is framed as humiliation, punishment, downfall. And once someone gets locked into that role, every new rumor is easy to sell. But keep watching, because the next piece is the one that matters. Even if the banned South Park story is shaky, the backlash wave around Snow White is not imaginary. It's real. It's documented. It's been building. Rachel Zegler did interviews that rubbed some people the wrong way. She got clipped, remixed, and turned into a meme. The movie got dragged into arguments about what modern remakes should be. Then the dwarf controversy became its own firestorm, with little-person actors speaking out about jobs and representation. Then every new leak, every reshoot rumor, every casting argument became part of the same big pile. So when a South Park-style parody appears, whether it's real, exaggerated, or selectively edited, it lands on dry grass. And that's why this rumor feels believable to so many people, not because we have receipts, because the audience is already primed. But that's where the story gets even stranger. Because South Park is not just a show that roasts people, it's a legal machine. Parody is one of the most protected forms of speech in entertainment. Networks do not pull episodes lightly, especially not because someone is angry. If anything, controversy is oxygen for that kind of content. So when you hear she demanded they ban it, you have to ask, ban it how? With what leverage? Through what channel? Lawyers, agents, a call to Comedy Central, a letter, a threat. And if it happened, why is there no solid paper trail? Now let's talk about the so-called leaked evidence people keep teasing. A real leak has three things: a verifiable source, a clear document or recording, and a way to confirm it's authentic. What the internet has right now is the opposite. It has vibes, it has trust me. It has screenshots with no origin. It has dramatic narration. It has the word insider doing all the work. That's not a smoking gun, that's fog. And fog is useful, because it lets everyone project what they already believe. Here's the part the public doesn't want to admit. This whole saga makes money for a lot of people. It makes money for outrage channels. It makes money for reaction videos. It makes money for meme pages. It makes money for anyone who can slap "banned" in all caps on a thumbnail and farm clicks. So ask yourself this: if you were running a channel like that, what headline would you rather sell? Unverified rumor circulates about possible complaint. Lord. Rachel Zegler demands South Park episode be banned after humiliation. Exactly. But that's where the story gets even stranger. Because there's a second rumor traveling with the first one, the idea that other shows are lining up to roast her, that even Disney-owned properties are taking shots, that the industry has turned her into a punchline. And again, maybe there are jokes, maybe there are references, but the way it's framed is the tell. It's framed like an organized pylon, like a coordinated punishment. That's a powerful narrative, because it feels like justice to one side and bullying to the other. And when a story triggers both sides, it spreads twice as fast. Now let's get strategic. If you were Disney, what would you do in a situation like this? Option 1. You go silent and hope the news cycle moves on. Option 2. You push back hard and risk extending the story for weeks. Option 3. You quietly send messages through reps, not to ban anything, but to limit damage, reduce harassment, and stop outright false claims that could become legal problems. And that's the key detail. People are mixing up very different things. It is believable that a public figure would want harassment to stop. It is believable that a team would try to correct misinformation. It is believable that lawyers might object to claims presented as fact. But that is not the same as demanding a South Park episode be banned. Those are different claims, different stakes, different proof required. So where does that leave us? Here's what I think is happening, and I'm saying this as analysis, not as a claim of fact. A parody clip appears. Commentary accounts attach a meltdown story to it. The story spreads because it fits the existing narrative, then it gets embellished. She demanded it. She pressured the network. She called it defamatory. The words get stronger every time it's repeated because stronger words get more clicks. And then the rumor becomes common knowledge without ever becoming confirmed. But that's where the story gets even stranger. Because if Rachel Zegler or her team actually did contact anyone, the most likely outcome is not a dramatic ban. The most likely outcome is nothing. Networks don't respond publicly. Studios don't want to validate the controversy. Everyone keeps moving. Which means if you want the truth, you have to watch for a very specific kind of receipt in the next few days. Not a random tweet, not a blurry screenshot, not a source close to the situation. You watch for a trade outlet report, Variety, Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, a line that says, a spokesperson confirmed, or Comedy Central declined to comment, or her representatives deny. You watch for names, not vibes. And you watch for a direct statement from Zegler herself, because she has addressed harassment before, and if she speaks again, the wording will matter. Now one more thing, because this is where it turns dark. When outrage stories like this spike, the harassment spikes too, and it doesn't just hit the star, it hits anyone connected, cast, crew, even random fans. So if your goal is truth, not blood sport, you do not join the mob, you do not send threats, you do not treat a rumor as permission to dehumanize someone. You demand receipts, you demand proof, you demand standards. Because the real scandal is that a cartoon roasted a celebrity. South Park roasts everyone. That's not a conspiracy. The real scandal is how fast the internet can manufacture confirmed narratives out of thin air, then sell them as justice. So here's my breaking news stance, and I'm going to keep it blunt. At this moment, the claim that Rachel Zegler demanded South Park be banned is unverified. It may be true, partially true, or totally made up, but until there are real receipts, it stays in the rumor box. And the moment an actual smoking gun lands, an on-record statement, a confirmed report, a verifiable document, we'll cover it cleanly, and we'll show exactly what's real and what's spin. Because the math simply doesn't add up right now. And if you're wondering why this story is being pushed so hard, ask yourself one last question. Who benefits most from you believing it today, without proof? Keep your eyes open, watch what gets leaked next, and watch who posts it first. That's where the real investigation begins.